Why didn't it unmute me? Hello there, guys, and welcome back to my channel for breaking news. For here we go for Enzo Fernandez coming to Chelsea. Unbelievable. Frankly, unbelievable. Wow. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to think. Like, it's genuinely crazy at this point. Well, we actually got it over the line. Pys, I'll just go straight to you. First of all, thank you for being here. Does this go down as one of the craziest transfer sagas ever? Because, I mean, we thought we had it, or we thought we were close to getting it early in the window, and then all of our hopes were ruined. And then we kind of thought we were getting there again yesterday, and then we kind of thought maybe it's ruined. And here we are, 45 minutes to go until deadline. We are now racing to get documents signed in time. Crazy stuff, right?
Bro, like, I'm just, honestly, I don't even know what to say. I've been like a nervous wreck that passed out. I've been watching his stream for like 5 hours straight. Been waiting, and finally we got the news. I just hope they can get it across the line now. Like, yeah, man, this is just ridiculous. Like, the fact that, like, there's been so many meetings today. Like, it's incredible. Just following the news. I don't really have words, to be honest. I'm just shocked. I'm so glad we got the here we go. Matt Law's just said everything's in place, deal sheet, medical, private jet, everything. So, let's go. Hopefully it all gets done.
It's crazy. We will get into what Matt Law and all the people have said in just a minute's time. Obviously, I'm very aware there's a lot of different kinds of people streaming currently. So, the ones of you that are here, appreciate you very much because you have chosen to be here and not elsewhere. So, I appreciate that. If you haven't already, chances are you have. But if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Wow. It's been a whirlwind of a day. Pys, you and me were sat here a few hours ago and talking about how we're not happy about the Jorginho thing. I'm still not happy about the Jorginho thing, but this Enzo thing is very good. I can't even lie. I still don't fully understand what the plan is now because I'm like, well, is he going to play at DM every game now? I have no idea. But we got one hell of a player. And considering we're 10th, considering people are telling us we have no pull, considering people are laughing at us, considering less than a year ago people thought we were on the brink of extinction. For us to sit here now, having spent 300 plus million pounds, euros, whatever it is, in January,
this is not a January window, bro. This is not even a summer window. This is insane. I can't believe it. The amount of signings we made, but they're top quality, man. I can't. These are like the elite of the elite. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. Top signings. No deadwood. No nothing. Just go for the best, and we've done it. Hopefully they can get the medical done. I'm so excited, man. Finally, I was gonna be so like honestly, this window would have been. Massive down if we didn't get this across the line.
No, absolutely.
After all that negotiating, like crazy.
Would have been a huge down. And I mean, you mentioned it there in terms of that we need to get it done. I guess that's the one minorly unknown thing now, because obviously in the past we could trust Chelsea. We've never not gotten something done before deadline, but now we have a completely different bunch of people in charge of those things. So now we basically need to be proven that again. Right? Because, we don't know if they will know how to get everything done in time. I'm sure they will, but we haven't had it. We haven't had them prove it in the past yet, I guess. Ahmed, appreciate the £1 donation. I'm not sure if you are the Ahmed or if we found another Ahmed all of a sudden, but I appreciate it regardless. It's crazy. I mean, just to read it out quickly, I'm sure lots of us were probably watching Fabrizio's stream as it was going on, because it was kind of like, big news soon or whatever he said. And then they do that little, like, here we go intro. Then he said it, just 5-10 minutes after the Hakim Ziyech to PSG deal was basically announced. It's crazy. But yeah, Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea. Here we go. Agreement reached right now between Chelsea and Benfica. Important clubs running to get the document signed before the end of the window. It's finally agreed. Boarding said to be completed. All right, well, that's just his sponsor, but let's ignore that part. My God, I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. Now, it's weird to me, and okay, well, I'll keep the negativity for a little bit later, but because there's still something in me, not to do with Enzo, but yeah. Hey, for the time being, I'm just going to be excited that we have a super player again. Not that we don't have any super players right now, but that we have a super player again, and that we have a player that can pass the ball away that we haven't really had anyone that could do that since there's Fabregas, if I'm honest. Have we?
Nope, you're right. Cesc Fabregas was the last player that could play these long passes like Enzo does. I'm so gassed, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. Cannot wait. Big up to the
Absolutely.
owners, man. Like 12 hours of negotiations. Like, fuck me, man. That's incredible.
That is genuinely crazy when you think about it that way. Let me just find that Keylor Navas going to Nottingham Forest is one of the most mental things I've ever
That's
heard.
insane as well. And that just goes at like the Premier League. Some of the deals that are happening are just insane, man. Honestly.
No, exactly. Where was the whole 12 hours negotiation thing? Was that in the article?
Matt Law, yeah, in the article, Behdad
Ah, was
Eghbali refused to take no as an answer throughout 12 hours of the negotiations.
That
Literally
is.
insane.
Hey, big up yourself, Behdad Eghbali. I was tweeting this yesterday. That it reminds me of. I know Pice is not particularly a TV show or stream kind of person, so you probably won't get this reference. But I'm sure a lot of people in the chat will. It reminds me of Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, who was kind of one hell of a a mofo, let's say that, and one cold mofo. So that's what Behdad Eghbali is. You don't take no for an answer, and he didn't take no for an answer. And it wasn't like the joke where it's just like yes, no, or us sitting there, no is not an option after deadline, not understanding what's happening. You read it out earlier already, but just to clarify or just to read it out again as people can see it as well. Chelsea have everything in place in terms of paperwork, deal sheet, medical, and private jet, so there shouldn't be an issue completing the move, even if no announcement before or at 11 p.m. Of course, after 13 minutes ago, he tweeted, Chelsea agreed British record deal to sign Enzo Fernandez with an hour of the transfer window to spare. Now race to sign paperwork. Pas, do you actually know, did that jet in the end ever fly home already at, what was it, 8:30?
No, it's still there. It's still there. I'm pretty sure it's our jet. I'm 100% convinced it is that. It's been delayed and delayed. I think it was due to take off at 10:30, but it'd probably be delayed even more now until he can get back on the flight. But yeah, it's definitely our jet because the amount it was delayed.
Absolutely, it has to be our jet. No, but that's what I was saying, because I saw some people talking about earlier that at 8:30 or 9 it will depart no matter what or whatever. So that's what I was asking.
Kept changing.
There you go. It's crazy stuff. And even crazier, we're even joined by Aaron. We don't know whether his internet will work, but we will try our best. Aaron, what a day to be alive, eh? Enzo Fernandez joins, Chelsea and Benfica have reached an agreement for the transfer of Enzo Fernandez. He hasn't quite joined us yet. Let's not, jinx anything. But what a deal, huh? Aaron, can we hear you? Let's try.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What a day to be a Chelsea fan. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited, man. As I said on the group chat, my first two kids are being called Todd and Behdad. That's it. I've decided. These men are... Oh, I can't even believe it, honestly. We were all losing our minds the last 24 hours in that group chat. I've never seen it so active in my life, but we got there in the end. Shout out to Jem, because I know he's a very happy man right now. Good on him. But yeah, man, I'm so excited, honestly. Todd and Behdad have done it. 12 hours of negotiations for Enzo, 10 hours negotiating for Mudryk, but these men have somehow pulled it off. And this next half of the season is going to be so sweet. I cannot wait.
No, exactly. The one thing I'm not
just a
sure
quick
about
one.
is...
I seen Jem in the comments, so shout out, Jem.
Yeah, shout out, Jem. Big up yourself, bro. Big up. The rumours that we sacked Tuchel for being on the bag. With these kind of negotiation hours, I'm not sure if the owners aren't as well. Because otherwise, how the flip are they doing this? 12-hour negotiations, 10 hours negotiations. How's that happened?
Wait, there's some more news.
And what's that?
So Enzo Fernandez from CL Merlo will be signing a contract until 2031, apparently.
So 8.5 years though, right? 8.5 years. We're taking the absolute piss as well, which is my favorite thing. We're going to change the rules for the summer. Well, fuck you. We're just going to do it in January then. This is good,
oh my days! It's got like everything I said has come to fruition. When we what's its fucking face? When we got who did we get when we closed last transfer? And I said like they should do this. Gustav, of course. I said they should do this for Enzo. Just go all in, even if it. I mean, we're getting him now. By the way, like I was convinced we probably get him for the summer. Like that would be like the middle ground, the agreement. But even now, he's even better. Like, fuck me, man. How did we change his mind? Like, it's insane. as well. Fab said it was that it was apparently mad behind the scenes, and he's going to reveal what happened one day. So honestly, I'd love to be a fly on that wall. It'd be insane. I can't imagine what went down, what was said. Like it's mental.
It will be so interesting because I'm sure we will find out eventually, whether it's still tonight or not. I'm not sure, but we will find out at some point. Maybe not everything that happened in terms of what Fabrizio is talking about, but in terms of how we changed his mind or Rui Costa's mind last minute. Also, maybe we'll find out how close to when it was revealed publicly it actually was, because there tends to be a delay, even though the way deadline day works with Fabrizio there, it didn't feel like a delay, but hey, who knows? But yeah, it's a very good question how we got it over the line in the end. I mean, we can talk about all the invoice financing or whatever it's called. I forgot the terminology of it already again, but somehow we must have found a way. I'm not quite sure how we found the way, but seemingly we found a way. 120 million euros. That's what Fabrizio said, which is 105 million pound, a record-breaking fee for a British record-breaking fee. Is it the most expensive ever signing by a Premier League team, right, guys?
Yes. Yep. It will be. Grealish was 100 million. Lukaku was like 97. So yeah, just about, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, to be fair, if you look at the list of most expensive signings in the Premier League, the track record of them isn't that great. But, let's hope Enzo changes that one. But yeah, like Yassine says, let's sign Jorginho again now. Then we'll all be happy. Do you know what I mean? But wow, it's actually crazy. Let me bring the other thing up where you talked about the 12 hours, just so, I don't know, people have it on screen for themselves to see rather than just us saying it. But Aaron, let me get back to you. 120 million euros, 105 million pounds. Now that it's done and dusted, yes, we can always sit there. The money doesn't matter. Excuse me. Do you give two flips whether it now costs 105 million or 95 million or whatever it was? Does it make a difference at this point? It doesn't, does it?
My brother, I could not give a rat's ass how much they want to pay. It's not my money. I don't give a shit. I just want to see good players at my club, and that's what I'm getting. So am I going to complain? Absolutely the fuck not. I'm a happy man. No one can rain on my parade. I don't care how expensive he is. You can all hold that because your clubs don't have ambition like ours. And yeah, we're just at it. We're next season. We are cooking something nice. I'm just waiting for them to announce Nkunku, and then that's it. We're looking so good next year. I can't wait.
The only thing we need now is not make Europe. We've got
if we don't make Europe and we're just playing Premier League football, it is a long day for everybody. A long day. I cannot wait.
I mean, Todd Father is one, but I'm not sure about the Behdad thing. But, soccer ants. Bit of a weird one, but hey, I'll let you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, by the way, get your thoughts involved. If you want to have specific topics or questions or whatever, use the super chat function. It's always massively appreciated. Just make sure that I actually see your message, because there's over 300 of you here, so I can't see every message otherwly. So please get involved in the super chat. Become a member if you fancy that as well. Join button underneath of desktop, link down in the description if you're on your phone. But most importantly, do subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, and today has been a big day. So I reckon, ladies and gentlemen, get subscribed. We'll be back the very latest on Thursday, because we've got a game to discuss in which we need to discuss whether a certain someone can play on Friday. Now, this is obviously grasping very far into the future right now, but hey, someone asked it, so let's just touch on it for a second, I guess. Pys, do you reckon he plays Friday?
Fuck it, man. We've got to play him. Like, if he's fit, we got to play him, bro. Like,
well, no, we've got no Jorginho. We have to anyway.
Bro, we have to play him. Like, Felix played after like one day, man. Like, no training, or one training session. Like, we've got to play him. Get him in. He's got to be here by tomorrow. He'll have a few days. Get him in, man. We need that. We need that boost.
Hey, and you can't even say, because he had a late night today, it's an issue. Can't even say that because we're playing Friday evening, so it's a late kickoff anyway. So, he's already in a correct rhythm. Do you know what I mean? Well, he will most certainly be allowed to play by Friday. Whether he will start or not, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he will most certainly make his debut. If it's not in the starting 11, it's from the bench. But, hey, I guess we'll have to see. Aaron, do you expect him to start Friday? Oh, are we back to not hearing you?
No, I'm sorry. Was that me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I was on Twitter. I've just seen the video of Fabrizio on his stream where he says Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, here we go. And I just got really excited. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I apologize. What were we talking about?
Whether you think he will play on Friday, basically.
I mean, considering we now don't have a 6 and we have about half a squad, I mean, it would be ideal if he could. So I think if he's definitely fit enough because he's been playing games. So you can't blame jet lag. He's a young lad, so I think he should be able to. Even if it's like a cameo off the bench or something. I don't know if he will start, but I'd like him to. But if not, at least a cameo off the bench.
Exactly. I mean, it's what we all hope for, really. Like I say, especially with Jorginho gone, we need to figure out who's going to play midfield anyway, because it's not going to be Kante. So, I guess we'll have to wait and see. As Pys tweeted, as was seemingly said by Fabrizio, I didn't see it on his Twitter, so I assume he said it on his stream or whatever. Enzo Fernandez was obsessed with joining Chelsea. A big part of this deal is down to him. Obviously, in the beginning of the transfer window, when we were discussing signing him already, he flew back to Argentina without permission, at least reportedly, missed some training sessions without permission, at least reportedly. But now he seemed to have behaved a little bit more respectfully, shall we say, but apparently did still push for it, did ask for us to for Benfica to let him go. I do genuinely wonder, someone brought this up, we should just tell João Felix to have a word with Rui Costa. Genuinely, we should have done that. And yes, I will get to your super chat, Matt. Don't worry, just give me a second, please. Just spent a fortune on that. Did you? What was the super chat? There you go. All right. But yeah, well, what I was going to ask you now, Pys, is the most impressive thing about all of this. Yeah, the money is the money, and yeah, we spend so much money. But if you have the money, you have the money. Obviously, how we figure it out in terms of structuring it, paying it, and not being in trouble with financial fair play, that's its whole separate issue, or its whole separate discussion, I suppose. But what I find most impressive is, yeah, people say, in the summer it's going to be more difficult without Europe. But it's not like I feel like these players look at the table and they're like the likelihood of Chelsea still making top 4 and still making Champions League for next season is pretty small. These players that we signed now are very aware of this. Like, they're not idiots. They all have phones. They all have a Premier League table, accessible. So the most impressive thing I find is that we managed to convince all of these players to join us. Now, Enzo Fernandez is obviously one of them, but I mean, he's our 7th signing of this window. Now, 2 or 3 of them are less impressive, but still, in the grand scheme of things, that's the part that I find the most impressive. Would you agree, Pys, that, again, we're 10th and, we don't really have that much to come to us. We don't have the biggest stadium. We probably don't pay the very biggest wages. Like, we're not, especially when we heard about those news that if you're not in the Champions League next season, the wages will actually be lower due to certain clauses in the contract. So would you agree that that's the most impressive part?
Yeah, 100%, man. I've expressed my concerns before about, Chelsea being able to pull players, but at the end of the day, once one exciting player comes in, I feel like it's just built and built and built and built. The players look at spend as well. They look at how much they spent last summer. And it seems like these owners are extremely good at talking to players. There's never really been any issues with anyone in terms of personal terms. Everything's always been wrapped up on that side.
Well, I guess Rafinha.
Yeah, I was going to say, apart from maybe Rafinha, but again, I'm sure he would have joined Chelsea if Barcelona didn't, complete that deal. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's incredible, really. But yeah, if you're Enzo Fernandez, you're looking at how much the owners have spent. You're looking at, you're hearing what the owners are telling you in terms of the path they want to go down, the route they want to take. And we've got an incredibly young, exciting squad that hopefully will just be built on, continue to be built on. So, yeah, it's onwards and upwards for us. Some of the players we've attracted in this window are just absolutely amazing, and our owner's intent is next level. There's I'm speechless. I can't believe this is. You got 30 days to do all these deals. It's just. There's never been anything like this ever in football before, and that's just incredible for two novices really in the football world. It's just as well,
Exactly.
I said how quickly they put the recruitment team and the that all together, the hierarchy, how they changed all that. It's they're on a mission, man. They're on a mission, and I'm glad to be here for it because it could have been a whole lot worse.
It could have been a whole lot worse. And Mark is a member. Will Enzo take the number of Jorginho? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the number 5 for anyone. I don't think the number 5 is a very pretty number. That's why I'm also not a fan of Mudryk having a 15. So I hope not. But I don't really know how many other numbers are available, considering Madueke said that with the 31. So, I don't know about that one. But let me get to this super chat from Matt from earlier. Who makes the Champions League squad? Some got to miss out. That's why I wanted to hold it a little bit. But you asked extra, so I'm going to give it to you soon. I thought we'll get there once we're a little bit further into the conversation, into that kind of conversation. But yeah, we can only register 3 players in the end. Like we read even the UEFA rule book, so even Madueke, it can't be registered on like a B list because he has been out of England for too long in this period he would have needed to be at the club and only on loan for 1 season maximum to be registered on the B list. Might count as homegrown for the Premier League, but that has nothing to do with the Champions League registration. So we can only register 3 of the 7 players that we signed in January. And unfortunately for Big Ben himself, Mr. Benoit Badiashile, I'm very sure that's going to be Enzo Fernandez, Mykhailo Mudryk, and João Felix. They're the 3 biggest names. So even though Badiashile probably makes more sense just because of how much better he seems to be than Koulibaly, surely it's going to be those 3. Would you agree as well, Aaron, that if we can only register 3, it will have to be those 3 biggest names?
I mean, it would be really great if we could deregister Koulibaly and register Badiashile.
Well, you can't apparently deregister anyone, as far as I'm aware. That's the whole problem.
I mean, it's maybe Badiashile can shave his head and look like Koulibaly, and that way he can play. But that would be helpful because that fucking bum Koulibaly is taking out Badiashile's spot, and that would be much more useful to him. But unfortunately for him, when you sign someone for 120 million euros, and then you've got João Felix on loan literally for 5 months, so the only competition he can play is Champions League and Premier League, you're going to take him. And Mudryk, you've just signed him for a fuck ton, and you've just let go of Ziyech as well, so you're going to have that extra number coming in there. So yeah, it probably will be Badiashile who takes the hit.
No, exactly. And I mean, just to say that actually 4, we had 1 spot still open. Who else? Is it not 4 players since Hakim, Omari, Humphreys, and Georgie left? No, it's nothing to do with. It's nothing actually to do with number of players. It's basically you can only register 3 new ones in January. So if we, for example, sold 10 players this window, well, then we just would have a very small squad. You can still maximum register 3 new players, no matter what else happens. I'm not sure if there's exceptions to this rule potentially, but we're Chelsea, so chances are they're not making exceptions for us. That's what I would say. What about if we release Koulibaly on a free? I don't think it affected them either. And Ziyech seems to be gone fantasy PGA Tour. We will get to that in a little bit. 21 under will not be included. Yes, Jack player to 321. Yes, they will be. Every single signing counts unless they can be registered on the B list, which the stipulations are very tight for. You need to have been in England for 3 years in the age group between the ages of 16 and 21, and you need to have been at the club that wants to register you for the B list. The only exception is you can have been on loan for 1 of those 3 years. Then you can still be registered on the B list, but obviously none of that applies to Madueke. So, or let alone any of the other players, obviously. So, Matt, I hope you had your question answered as well as you would have liked. And there we go. Obviously, Pys, you touched on it earlier already, and Fabrizio confirmed it again now. Enzo Fernandez will sign with Chelsea until June 2031. Exactly the same deal as agreed in the first week of January. Nothing has ever changed between the player and Chelsea. He's always been open to the move and happy to join. Well, now he says happy to join. Earlier, he said obsessed. So, which is there, bro. But one thing I was going to ask you guys, and I mean, Pys, obviously, if you want to add anything in terms of registration, but I assume you're going to agree on those 3. What I want to talk about is someone said, how did we convince the players to join for like 8 years? I think that's what we need to be a little bit like, have you not noticed how many players leave football clubs, regardless of whether their contract runs out or not? I don't think we are telling these players, there is no chance you will ever leave until your contract runs out. Like, we need to be realistic, especially because we only want young players. The second they hit 27, we're selling them anyway. I'm joking. But that's just what I wanted to add. I don't think, especially when you do contracts like these, I don't think you can just say, we'll definitely have them until 2031. In an ideal world, that's going to be the case. But, you better be sure Real Madrid come knocking one day. And then we need to see what happens. We saw how it went with Rudiger and others and Hazard. But The one thing that could be different is maybe we finally, and I mean, I've been waiting for it since 2012, really. We finally take that step from becoming a huge club to becoming one of the biggest clubs in the world, one of the 3, 4, 5 biggest. And if we manage to make that step, which can only really happen once we have a new stadium or once what's the word? A redeveloped, a renovated stadium. But we're in London. We're in the biggest league in the world. We have some of the most money. We can most certainly be in the very top echelon of 3, 4, 5 clubs in the world. If we get there, then maybe these players are staying for as long as their contracts run. Pys, what is your thoughts on this? Do you sit there and say, contract until 2031? Do you then sit there and see it as, that's how long they're going to be there? Or is it just me that doesn't think of it that way? Pys, can you hear me?
Wait, am I concerned about what in terms of the contract?
Not concerned. Just do you see it as when you see the contract runs until 2031? Do you think of it as we definitely have him until then, or are you like?
No. He could go way before then, but I think it gives the player long-term security. On us, we need to make sure that the players work and do very well for the club. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he's staying until then. But by time, say he stays, 5, 6, maybe 7 years, then obviously we would have made money by then, and the installments and all that sort of thing is the contract length won't really be spoke about by then. It's only being spoke about right now.
Absolutely. It's also very interesting that we apparently do with some sort of clauses, because you can't initially do more than 5, but then you add some clauses and that extends it. So I'm very intrigued what those clauses could be relying upon. I think that's something, because we're kind of the first team to do crazy things like this. I think there's still a little bit of uncertainty about how exactly that will all go about, but I guess it will take a few years for us to actually finally find out. Let me read this. Actually, let me read a couple of the messages from the chat. It's job security for the player I'd signed to. If you play well, you either earn enough bonus to be content, or some other top clubs buys you. But then again, at the same time, if that club doesn't want to give you a raise, and if that club doesn't want to sell you, then you can also be stuck on that very same wage for 8.5 years. Even though now you're signing as a 22-year-old, you are absolutely guaranteed to be given higher wages if you move at 25, 26 elsewhere. So yes, it's security, but he's one of the best footballers in the world in the grand scheme of things. I'm not saying he's in the top 5, but he's probably in the top 50 or whatever. So like, if you're in the top 50 of footballers, you're not going to have to worry about money. That's the last thing you're going to have to worry about. I think you have to look at it that way as well. But I'm sure there's plenty of bonuses, and there's plenty of, we've probably said, and if you do this and this, we're going to give you a raise in so and so many years or whatever else. Can you imagine Kante and Fernandez working together when Kante gets fit to play? Yes, I can. For those 2 games. And after that, we have to wait another 6 months for Kante to be back. No, I'm joking. I mean, especially now that Georgie's gone, I might become religious, and I might start praying that Kante can actually stay fit, because otherwise I don't really see it as realistic. Someone said to me, like, we can just hope that Kante stays fit. I'm like, that's about as likely as Kepa waking up half a meter taller tomorrow morning. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen. The way inflation is in football, not sure how a long contract is security in ways. That's also a fair point. Again, it's in terms of the wages. If you don't get a raise, even on the basis of inflation, it's crazy. But then again, I also, like, normal people get a raise, right? So just automatic raises at times after certain periods in normal jobs, but I'm not quite sure if it works like that in football, if I'm being perfectly honest. But let's read this one out by David Ornstein, the man himself. David Ornstein has the only problem that he's not just as good of a PR merchant as Fabrizio. So when I say PR merchant in that sense for Fabrizio, I don't mean that in a negative way. He's just very, very good at doing what he does. And there's a reason he's the biggest journalist in any industry in the whole world. And to make it as big as Fabrizio made it as a journalist is insane anyway. If 10 years ago, people wouldn't have thought anyone cares about the name of any journalist, really. But yeah, as you can read on screen, Enzo Fernandez medical ongoing, while clubs work as quickly as possible to get the UK record transfer done, at least via deal sheet in the next 25 minutes. Only hurdle is paperwork and time. Benfica tried until the end to keep the 22-year-old, but he insisted on joining Chelsea. Very, very interesting. Obviously, just to explain it to people, there's the deadline at 11 p.m. UK time in pretty much exactly 20 minutes as of right now. Unfortunately, Aaron's internet died again. Maybe he'll be back in a second. Aaron's internet is funny. But what I'm saying, but yeah, so deadline is in 19 minutes, and that is when you need to have the deal sheet sent in. There are certain other documents which you get an extra period. I think it's 2 hours, or is it 1 hour past deadline, in which you can send those files over in terms of registration and stuff with the FA, blah blah blah. But the deal sheet is the thing that needs to be done by deadline, and that's basically the thing that we need to stress about. But yeah, what else can I say? I'm struggling for question, Pys. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Like, just in terms of what we have on screen now, like, is there any nervousness in you that we don't get it done?
I don't think so. I don't think you do. If you negotiate for 12 hours and don't already have this stuff in place, knowing as well that you was confident to get a deal done, I think Behdad Eghbali would pass out and probably sell the club, honestly, if this didn't go through.
No, exactly that. And I mean, hey, like you said, we had everything ready, really. I mean, we literally flew a private jet out there just to make sure we can get him back to England quicker then. I mean, again, that wasn't necessary because things took so long that we have to do the medical and everything in Portugal anyway. But hey, here we are. I mean, I tweeted it earlier. Thank God we now didn't fly out that private jet for no reason, because Greenpeace and Greta Thunberg would have been right on us. I'm not really sure how to pronounce her name in English. Very different in German. But hey, here we are. Let me get to the super chat for Swiss Daniel before I ask Aaron about just his next few thoughts, I guess. Swiss Daniel says, flip sake, so hard to get getting tickets for our football club, man. Gotta find some way to watch that beautiful man on Friday. Pys, fancy a ticket loan, lad. Pys, you fancy a ticket loan, lads?
I'm not even going, unfortunately. So
why not?
No,
it's Friday. Trains.
no, I'm not even going. Yeah, trains. And I already saw. Basically, my brother sold our tickets to someone when we was playing really shit because he didn't want to go and watch them. So he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna just sell the tickets, let thingy go." So let my mate go. Now I want to go because we've signed loads of good players.
no, exactly. no, we'd love to go. But hey, at least we finally have a game. You know what? One question I have, which I haven't checked. When is our next game after Fulham? Do we have to wait another week?
Yeah, West Ham away another week, unfortunately. But then after
I'm
that,
already fuming.
Like, yeah, but then after that, I think it's like regular games. It's like you got like Dortmund like 3 days later.
Yeah.
And then it's
I genuinely don't even understand how it was like now, I guess, with the signings, but it seemed to have been especially difficult compared to other years to get tickets full stop. Aaron, you were telling me about it, how difficult the VVR is this time. I mean, I even tried to somehow help you get tickets for Fulham. I don't think that was successful as far as I'm aware. So, it's tougher. And I'm not sure why there's the case. When you compare it back to the Sarri days, it was, as far as I know, much easier to get tickets because people were just not quite into it. But seemingly a lot of people were upset with Potter, and everything that was happening, and even the new ownership. But seemingly the tickets were never any easier to buy than they were in the past. Aaron, any fear in you that we don't get it done?
Yeah, just on the ticket thing, it is ridiculous. It's honestly so hard to get tickets nowadays. I was struggling and I literally had to reach out to you. You reached out to Charlie and Lewis, and I still had no success. It's such a pain in the ass trying to get tickets. And I wanted to get tickets like a good couple weeks ago. If I had known Enzo was signing, I would have given my right arm and leg to get a ticket to see that game because that would have been.
Imagine then he doesn't play Friday. You'd have been right fuming.
I've still got another arm and leg. I'll be all right. But yeah, I don't. The thing is, I don't think they'll go through 12 hours of negotiations, flying jets left, right, and center, pissing off Greta Thunberg and all that shit if they weren't going to get the deal done. I don't think it's logical, and I think they're just gonna have egg on their faces if they then don't get it done in time. So I have full faith if they can break Rui Costa, then I'm sure they can get the fucking paperwork done in time. I don't doubt them for a second. But I just wanted to ask you guys about something that Con tweeted actually, and it was quite interesting because he said maybe Todd Boehly did listen to us fans in the space. We asked for a right back and Enzo, and he delivered. What an owner Chelsea have. Do we actually think Todd Boehly may have been in that space? Or are we still convinced it wasn't him?
I'm still convinced it wasn't him. Otherwise, we would have signed the right back right now, not put us on.
I mean, I get that, but like, we still got the guy that we wanted. But do you not think that's a bit interesting that on a space that Todd Boehly happens to be in, everyone's asking for Enzo and a right back? And what do we get by the end of the window after 12 hours of negotiating? We get Enzo and a right back. I just find that really interesting.
But I think, mate, like, you didn't have to join a space. You just had to open Twitter. And
Todd
probably
opens
anyone,
Twitter
and you would
and
have
he
known
likes
that
all of these
Chelsea
random
want a right
posts.
back and Enzo.
Yeah, but you see
In
Todd
terms of Chelsea
opening
fans,
Twitter
I'm saying.
and he likes all of these random posts about like for Mudryk and retweet for Trossard and all of this shit. And then you go on his likes and it's just crazy. But by the way, there is pictures of Enzo now getting on his way. He is pictured in an airport, so he is heading to London.
Where? So
That
link
means
it.
medically done.
That Frank coloured geezer, he tweeted Enzo Fernandez is on his way with a picture of Enzo in the airport.
But
Oh,
it's Frank
no.
Callis. It might be an old picture in an airport.
Yeah,
not
knowing Frank Carter, that's probably an old picture.
Oh,
I mean,
sent me
you
one
know,
for
big
it.
up Frank Khalid, but also isn't Enzo Fernandez currently blonde, and on that picture is brunette. So
Is he blonde?
that's why he's still blonde. He was blonde after the World Cup. He was, so I assume that hasn't
he
grown out
does
yet.
have blonde hair.
Never mind. I got pranked. Fucking hell.
It's not pranked. I think it's just not the correct picture. that Frank
He
posted,
sent me to
but-
the shops. He did. He sent me.
Yeah, exactly. How was the shops, mate? Maybe they have better Wi-Fi there.
Wait, it's working all right now. Don't take the
Nah,
piss.
it's working all right,
all
to be
right.
fair.
Come on.
It's working all right. Well, let's discuss one other thing quickly. We will get to Hakim Ziyech and everything in a minute. Pys, Fantasy PGA Tour, and I'm sure there's plenty of others that are like him. I'll be honest, I've seen Enzo play less than 10 times. If actually, that probably includes me in terms of actually watching a full game. That probably includes me because I saw all the games at the World Cup of his. I'm pretty sure. Did I miss an Argentina game? I can't remember. Maybe I missed one. But and I saw like 1 or 2 Champions League games of him of Benfica. So that is still less than 10 times. But in terms of just all you need to do, like you don't need to. I mean, obviously everyone has to make up their own opinion, but you also make up your opinion by over time learning to trust certain people on their opinion when it comes to judging players.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
Listen to those.
Yeah, I have someone that writes for my website that's a scout at a championship club. So of course I'm gonna trust him. I'm gonna trust other people I know, and I've also watched him quite a few times. So I've got my view on him as a player. Is he worth the money? We're gonna have this debate probably in a few months, but at the end of the day, you're only worth what you're willing to pay nowadays and what the club demands. So that's the thing. He's gonna have pressure, but he'll perform for us, and I've got no doubt about it.
No, absolutely, I agree. What was it that I heard? Even a United fan said that it must be the fact that United paid 100 million for Anthony that screwed all the prices in the world now. And to top things off and make things even better, we are even joined by Charlie. Charlie, I'm sure we've all had the long day. How you doing?
All good. Yeah, all good. But I thought I'd pop in. I did send you a WhatsApp, mate. I thought I'd pop in for like 15, 20 minutes before I go to bed, just to give some reaction, join the boys, see what's happening. Delighted, mate. It's about time. I'm just glad that we don't have to talk about it anymore in terms of, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Oh, these players are doing this. Oh, there's more meetings. What structure is it going to be? This and that. It's done. We don't have to worry about it anymore. And
no, exactly.
I think
imagine we had a game tonight or tomorrow. Like we would.
Do you think he makes debut against Fulham, or that's too soon?
Yeah.
You think debut at Fulham?
Maybe he won't start, but I'm pretty sure.
Look at Felix.
And
Look at Felix.
Yeah,
started.
no, that's true. I mean, he's fit and he's been playing, so I mean, there's no reason not to. But you reckon definitely involved in some capacity?
Yeah, 100%.
Let's just say I would at least be surprised if he wasn't.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be shocked.
No,
yeah.
It's a fair point. Charlie, let me get your thoughts. Now, in terms of price, blah, 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 let's not talk about that. Fantasy PGA Tour says it's only seen him play less than 10 times. Maybe that includes you. It includes me.
That includes me as well.
No, exactly. But what have we learned about the player? Because what we do, we listen to a lot of people, we see what people have to say, we watch some things, and we at least try to educate ourselves as well as we can. What do we know about it? What do we like about it? But also, because what people I feel like forget sometimes when we buy players like this who are 22, just turned 22, not long ago. What they forget about is that not only are you signing how good he is right now, you're also signing what he can still become. Now, obviously, if someone's already super good at 22, there is a chance that there is less development potential still remaining, because otherwise, how would you already be this good? Or you become like Messi. Do you know what I mean? And he is Argentinian, so Messi's about to retire, but they need a new one. So that is that. But what are we expecting? What is the standout feature that you're excited from him? Like, is it the passing? Is it just having a player that is actually good at many different things? Because I think our biggest issue in midfield that we've had recently is that we've had experts at specific things too much. Like Kante is that incredible box to box that's so good at winning the ball back. But as soon as he has the ball, he can become a bit of an issue if he's too high up the pitch. He also doesn't have the discipline to stay deep enough to distribute play. Jorginho obviously had his weaknesses in terms of pace and physique. You had Mateo Kovacic, who was one of the best dribblers in the world in terms of especially midfielders. But then the final pass isn't always there, even though he has it in his locker. That's what I'm most excited about. That we have a player who I feel can do most things. He's going to be able to get a tackle. He's going to be good at intercepting. He's going to have the adequate, let's say, work rate. He definitely won't get bullied. I don't think. I've never seen Argentinians get bullied, if I'm being perfectly honest. So I don't see that one happening. And one other thing to add that we've been missing for way too long anyway, outside of flipping, Conor Gallagher, and I'm not happy with him today anyway. He can shoot from distance and can get us a few goals from that range when we're struggling to break a team down, because as much as we're signing all these great players and attackers, there's still going to come a day where we're going to struggle to break a low block down. That happens to everyone. Doesn't matter whether it's us, City, Arsenal, bloody prime Barcelona. Look at them against us. Sometimes you can't break a team down. And if you then have a one or two that can score you a screamer from distance, it certainly increases your chances of breaking that low block down. Sorry, I'll start with a question, held the monologue instead. What is the thing you're most excited about, bro?
I think it's just someone that, as you said, mate, is that kind of is almost a complete midfield player, ticks so many boxes, can do so many things, rather than what we've got at the moment, where we've got players that are good at certain things but not so good at others. He's pretty good at the broad range of things that you'd want in a good midfield player. I think it's going to be a massive relief to have someone that has got a good range of passing from midfield. For as good as someone like Kovacic is, whatever, doesn't pick up many assists. I'm not saying Fernandez is going to suddenly become a goal machine, but like you would expect there to be a few more assists from midfield through him. Can obviously score some goals, which is a plus as well. But I just think, the full package is what's most exciting, is that we've signed someone that is good, not only this good now, but could be phenomenal in a few years' time. And to think about the pieces that we could potentially put around him as well. To make that midfield, because let's make no mistake about it, this is not the end of the midfield rebuild. This is just the start. So you get him in, and then you think, right, okay, let's see who comes in to play an out six. Mate, we could run it back. Although I think
bro. Apparently, I
think that deal to Turkey, that Turkish club, might be back on again. That was the last thing I saw.
Because he initially turned them down, wanted to stay in Italy, then that fell through because didn't he try to go to Lyon or something as well? Yeah,
and that didn't really happen.
See, Lyon should have just given us Gusto straight away. You could have afforded Bakayoko, mate.
Maybe, but I think it's.
Oh no, wait,
yeah,
this is at Marseille.
Marseille, yeah. No, I think, I think it's exciting just to have someone that ticks so many boxes. It's a profile of player that we've all said many times that there's not many midfield players of his profile that are so competent at so many different things, which is a huge plus. And I think it's just exciting. And I think what's really good is the fact that he's got 6 months to bed into the Premier League. Then he's got a full pre-season, and then we'll probably start to see the best of him next season. So I think it's good that what we've almost done here is we've had like a summer window in January. So we've actually got a 6-month pre-season for the rest of the season, plus an actual pre-season in the summer, which I think is going to be a massive plus for a lot of these players. So yeah, it is really exciting. And I'm just delighted it's finally done. And hopefully he'll be here for many years, and he'll make a real big difference to this team. I mean, I think for the time being, he's probably going to play more defensively as a 6 because Jorginho's gone and we haven't got anyone else to do that. But ultimately, I think he's more of a box-to-box player, more someone in a Kovacic mold, someone that does a similar thing to what he does, but probably just a bit better. So yeah, I think it's exciting. It's also good that it's someone that's versatile in the midfield as well. Yes, he's not like an out-and-out 6, but he can do a pretty good job there. So I think it's good that we've got someone that's kind of comfortable in multiple positions across the midfield as well. So yeah, ticks
Now
all the
we're just
boxes,
going to hope
mate.
that Potter agrees that he can do that, because if he doesn't, then who are we going to play? Kepa?
We've also got to hope that he doesn't get sent off on his debut or get injured. So that those
or that someone finds a TikTok of him saying dodgy words and he might get suspended.
Yeah. There's also that. But yeah, no, I think, mate, it's all exciting.
It's just our luck.
It is, but no, it's really exciting. Is the bottom line. There's a lot to be excited about, and it makes you forget the fact that we're 10th. But I haven't even thought about that at all.
No, exactly. Who gives a shit anyway?
No, it doesn't matter. And what I would say is, though, I mean, Pice, you probably know better. What does all this mean for in terms of registering players in Champions League, though? Because obviously, if you can only make 3 changes to the squad, can't you? So I guess with Jorginho and Ziyech leaving, that's 2 in, 2 out. So it kind of that helps us a little bit with the registration.
We actually just before you join.
Oh, it doesn't.
You can only register 3 no matter what. It's just 3 new ones limit.
Oh, even with 2 dropping out, you can't suddenly
impact it.
Yeah.
So we got a bit of a problem then. Who are we going to register out of those signings?
Well,
the big names, isn't it?
Enzo, Mudryk, and Felix probably, and then
no Badiashile Champions League.
Not over those 3, no chance. No, I'd
probably not.
No, I'd hope Fofana stays fit, and then maybe that's why Koulibaly's. It maybe Graham Potter already knew. Just get yourself ready for the Champions League, bro, because we got some big signings coming in.
No, I didn't realize it was only 3 regardless of outgoings.
I only learned like that. I can't remember what stream it was, but we read through the UEFA regulations, and I'm like, well, it says it black and white here. I can't argue with it now. So hey. It is what it is in that sense. Harry Watt, by the way, I did see your super chat just because of the topic it's about. I will just bring it up once we get to that topic, which we will soon as well. Charlie, any other things that you'd like to say potentially on the contract running until 2031 before I let you go? I know you've got an early start tomorrow morning.
I've got a few minutes, mate. Standard procedure, really, under this thing. New length of contract 2031. Great. I think I've seen a tweet from CFC Daily saying that roughly it will be about 11.5 million a year or 11.3 million pounds a year or something when you work it out over the length of the contract. So, I mean, yeah, obviously, as we said before, we don't know whether these players are actually going to stay for the whole length of their contracts, but for books purposes, it works well. I've kind of got used to these long contracts now, but it's not something you normally think about. Normally, like back in the day under Roman or something, he would have signed a 5-year contract probably. Or a 4+1 or whatever it is. It's just standard, really. Good way of doing things. And I find it weird that no one else has thought of offering long contracts before, because that's all, as far as I'm aware, that's always been available to do in terms of...
At least with clauses in contract. I still think that the FIFA statutes say you should do it in 5, but then again, it also
it's down to the independent...
It's a tough one, but it will hit deadline in less than a minute's time. So I hope in the next few minutes we will get confirmation from someone whether the deal sheet has or has not gone through.
And Caicedo done as well in the next 30 seconds.
That was my favorite story when that came out yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was yesterday. But
it didn't even. I read that. I clicked on it on the Guardian, right, and it didn't even say. Unless I'm blind, it didn't even say.
I said it, so that's what I went by.
But it didn't. But I clicked. Oh no, I've seen that. But then I clicked on the article itself. Not once in the article did it actually mention anything about Caicedo.
Pretty sure it did, bro.
Did it? I must have been reading something else then.
Yeah, because I usually check all the articles, so I'm pretty sure.
Fair. I must have just not seen it then. Well, there we go. That ends that one then.
I think it was just put out by Boehly to trigger rival fans even more and panic them. Oh my god, they're going to get Caicedo as well.
Raphael, are you a mod? Am I not even aware that you are a mod? You are. Sorry, man, I forgot because I always see it on the StreamYard thing. I never see who's mod, and then I forget because I was like, "Why are you threatening timeouts?" I take it all back. You have your power, Raphael.
I mean, you do think though, like, why couldn't we have done this at the start of the month? Like, I'm glad it's done, but you sort of think, well, if they agreed that deal, I'm sure that deal we've offered is not really that different to what we were going to offer at the start of the month or would have been prepared to offer. So you sort of think, well, why couldn't we just done it in the first couple of weeks?
Well,
Surely
because apparently we had to take some sort of weird loan that no one's ever heard about in football, at least. But apparently, someone has told me, at least I say someone has told me, in some Twitter reply I read, that this has been the thing in the Premier League for ages, that basically it's just about having cash flow. But that's what we have Clearlake Capital for. So I guess it wasn't purely about cash flow in this case. Oh, good, Harry. Like, calm down, boys. Calm down, everyone. He's just bantering. Chat me. Aaron, let me ask you a similar question to Charlie. Do you agree with Charlie in terms of what you're most excited for from Enzo?
Yeah, the thing with Enzo is because he's come off the World Cup being young player of the tournament. Obviously, his stocks are already going to be really high, and then the fact that we've been chasing this the whole month, like the fact that it's gone down to the last day and like the last minutes, I think that's what makes it even more satisfying. Because as it was going through the day, where it was dragging out, that excitement started to slowly drain away from me, and I thought, yeah, this is just another one we're getting fobbed off for. And then when I saw the here we go, it's like all of that excitement from the beginning of the window when we first got linked, it all just came back at once. So I'm genuinely really excited to see him slot into that midfield, especially with the fact that Jorginho's gone now. He's going to have to play that defensive role. But I'm excited to see what he can do, because when you see the clips of him at Benfica where he's kind of like just sitting just in front of the back line and he's spraying passes left, right and centre, it's just like it's going to be very different to sort of how the sitter we have normally sort of plays, with the way he plays those long over the top balls and stuff. It's going to be really exciting, and
I hope Graham allows him to do that as well. Like, I hope he allows him to let him be himself, let him be expansive. You know,
yeah. There's no point in signing him and bringing him in if you're not going to let him play the way that he does, because you know exactly what you're buying into.
No, he's come to play right back.
I mean, one thing you always got to consider is when it's about especially long passes and stuff, Premier League defenders are going to be better than the most defenders that Enzo's regularly played against. So those long passes will need to be even better, because the better defenders are going to be better at intercepting those in some sort of way. And they're also stronger, just nudging off the striker and stuff. So
he's still got Trent to deal with again. So those over the top through balls will be just fine.
That is true. And Mudryk, to play with it. Can Enzo play striker? Well, I hope not, because that's the last thing I want him to do. Do you know what I mean? One thing I wanted to bring up here in the meantime. Oh, Pys, I assume you agree with the boys in terms of what you're most excited for about Enzo? Is there anything more specific that the boys haven't mentioned yet?
No, don't think so.
There you go. What I wanted to bring up, and I'm not quite sure if the numbers are quite perfect, but Rich says River Plate get 41 million euros for Enzo to Chelsea. The record sale is 35 million euros. Didn't what's his name? Alvarez, but what's his first name? The Julian. Yeah, there you go. Didn't he come from River Plate too?
Yeah, but he was only 14 million.
Someone in the chat the other week told us he cost 60 million.
Mate, he cost 14 million pounds.
Was it with like insane add-ons? Are you sure?
No, it was cheap, mate. Julian Alvarez was like 14 million from River Plate to City.
Yeah, it was like 15 or 16 million euros.
Oh, so he was told an absolute lie in the chat then.
mate, he was not 60. He was nowhere near 60 mil.
Yeah, because I was like, really? Was he? That's insane stuff. But hey, here we are. We don't know, ladies and gentlemen. People are asking, is it done? We don't know if the deal sheet has gone through yet. I'm sure we will find out very, very soon. One other thing that I need to go to, and I will try to bring it up in a minute's time. I guess we can we can scroll through Fabrizio's tweets, but we'll get to a Hakim Ziyech one in a second at some point. Where is it?
Wait, while you do that, what happens if the deal sheet isn't completed and the transfer's off?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck my life, Jesus.
Man, They wouldn't be that stupid, would they?
No, I don't think so.
Someone from TalkSport, I know they're not the most reliable, they've said his deal sheet was already in anyway. Law said it was already prepared, so don't think you have to worry too much.
No, I don't think you'll have to worry too much either, if I'm being perfectly honest. Just trying to find this Hakim Ziyech thing. I haven't found it yet. Here we are.
Mate, Ornstein's tweeted about Ziyech as well.
Yeah, just getting that one up now. Because one other thing that happened today, and there's a few other things. Omari Hutchinson also left on loan to West Brom. Who left on loan to Hull? Someone went to Hull.
Xavier Simons turned his loan to Hull into a permanent.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
I was busy with other things at that moment. I didn't quite.
Nah, mate. Why weren't you across that transfer? Big news.
Oh, mate, it's poor from me, really. Poor from me. But yeah, as we got in not long before the Enzo Fernandez, here we go. We've got the exclusive from David Ornstein. PSG have reached an agreement with Chelsea to sign Hakim Ziyech on loan until the summer. Deal not signed, but in place, plus includes a fee, but no option to buy. No option to buy. Interesting. AC Milan, Roma, RB Leipzig, and Premier League clubs were also interested. So what do we make of that then? Charlie, again,
seems like
I
Nathan
think you're
was
probably
right
going to
there.
want to leave soon.
Yeah,
So
I'll do this, mate, and then I'll better shoot. Yeah. I think it makes sense in terms of Ziyech didn't want to be here. He gets a good move. He gets to play with Messi, which is great. And he gets Champions League football, and he's happy because he's not going to be at Chelsea anymore. In terms of a straight loan, I think it would have made more sense to get an option or an obligation in there. But I guess Chelsea might be looking at it and thinking, well, if he has a good loan spell, it might boost his value in the summer. But then that's also got the danger of going the opposite way. If he doesn't play much or he's crap, then his value could potentially go down. So I think it would have been nice to have an option in there. But again, an option doesn't mean they've got to take it up either. So the only way you guarantee he goes is an obligation. So I'm not sure they were perhaps going to agree to that. But I think it makes sense for all parties for Ziyech to go. But I don't know. I would have preferred some sort of buy option in there, just because I think it would have made more sense than just a straight loan. Does it say anything about what wage the PSG paying all wages, or do we know that?
I mean, I haven't read that yet, but I'd highly assume. I mean, it's flipping PSG; they can flip and afford it. I mean,
well, yeah, I mean,
into, I don't know, late Orient here.
I mean, I'm sure PSG probably paying most of the wages. Well, you'd like to think all of them. Yeah, I think it makes sense all round. I just personally would have liked to have seen an option or an obligation in there just to make it a bit more worthwhile. Because otherwise, we get to the summer, are PSG going to want him in the summer? Probably not. They'll have other targets. So, yeah, I think it would have been nice to have it. But yeah, I think it made sense for him to go. And considering Sterling's back fit again, I know he's not been great, but obviously Madueke as well. That's kind of the right-hand side locked down with those two options. Where's Ziyech going to feature? He probably wasn't. And so you don't want...
we'll have to wait and see about Madueke, how he's used and how much he's fit for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I agree. I would have probably preferred an option to buy, but like you said, that is probably the thinking. Premier League wasn't ideal for him. Give him a different league with a different team. Maybe he can shine more there. I mean, if I imagine the type of passes that Ziyech usually plays, and then I imagine the insane pace that Mbappe and Neymar have from the left-hand side, I feel like a fair few of those are going to come off, At the same time, you could argue the same for with Mudryk, I guess. But, hey, we just have to hope it works out in an ideal world. I mean, they obviously lost Di Maria in the summer. They let Pablo Sarabia go to Wolves now. If Messi plays as a 10, who is their right winger? I don't even think they have a right winger.
They don't really have one.
I wouldn't be shocked if Ziyech plays more than people expect right now. If Messi doesn't always play on the wing, but centrally, which... I don't always, because Messi just roams around, so I'm not really sure what position
just does what he wants.
No, but still, which do they take out? Do they take the right wing out and let him do his thing, or do they take the 10 out and let him do his thing?
I think it depends, doesn't it? Really, I guess if they play 4-2-3-1, Messi plays 10, Ziyech will play right wing. 4-3-3, you expect that probably Ziyech doesn't start.
Yeah, I feel like they've since what's his name? I forget the manager's name, but I think since they've come in, every now and again they even play a back three. So, unfortunate for you, Ziyech.
Yeah,
but yeah, Charlie, hey, I appreciate you for popping on, ladies and gentlemen. Please do subscribe to Charlie's channel, the Bruce Brothers. Help him get to 3K subscribers. We massively appreciate it. But yeah, mate, appreciate you. Have a good night, and we'll catch you soon.
Yeah, nice one, lads. Cheers.
Take care.
Cheers, bro. Pys, before I get to Aaron about Hakim Ziyech, thoughts on him going to PSG? Thoughts on there not being an option to buy? Good, bad? Do you care?
Well, I mean, it seems that Chelsea got what they want or wanted, even though it was reported.
But did we want this? That's the part I'm confused about. Why did we?
Yeah, Nathan Gissing. Everyone was shitting on him, but he was the only one that said Chelsea didn't want to include an option to buy. So it looks like he was right.
True, he did say that. I was thinking, I read it somewhere, but I couldn't remember who said it. And I couldn't even remember if this was then disproven since or not. But hey, it seems like it hasn't. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, I tweeted it earlier. It's a shame that it never worked out the way we all hoped it would after we signed him, like especially after, we signed him basically on the back of him absolutely destroying us in the Champions League on his own. Not destroying in terms of that we lost, but he was the most dangerous player that Ajax had against us. Just wasn't quite to beat, but I think I will keep that one for in a minute. But Aaron, thoughts? Hakim Ziyech on loan? Thoughts that there is no loan option to buy? Does that matter to you at all?
I kind of didn't understand it at first because I thought if we're trying to get rid of him, surely you would include an option to buy. But I think it's something to do with PSG's FFP or something that they couldn't include it, or something along them lines. Whether it was an obligation or whatever it was, I'm not sure. I think they couldn't include an obligation because of their FFP. But even then, the not having an option to buy confused me because we're clearly trying to get rid of him permanently. So sending him on a dry loan for 6 months doesn't really make all that much sense. And I kind of sympathize with him because he hasn't really had the most opportunities, but he's going to a club where he's going to be playing with the best front line in the world and his fellow countryman Hakimi. And I have a feeling in that league with the kind of way it plays out, he'll cook. So it's good for him, but I just slightly don't understand it being a dry loan. But we'll come back in the summer and probably end up moving on.
Yeah, we probably will. It is what it is. It is what it is. We spoke about Jorginho in quite a lot of detail in the earlier stream that we did, whatever the time was just earlier. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about this again, but what I did have was a super chat by Harry Watt. However you would like your name to be pronounced. He asked, what are your favorite Ziyech and Jorginho moments? And that is an interesting one. I think the Ziyech one is pretty simple. I think we're all going to say the goal against Spurs, are we not?
Yep.
I mean, is there even another one?
Atletico Madrid. That was
you got the goal against Atletico.
Yeah, that was good. The City away he scored as well.
The goal against City in the cup.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But I don't think any of them come close to that goal against.
That's
been the best goal in a good while at Chelsea. I think you'll have to go back a while to see a better goal than that. Probably to Hazard when he scored that away at Liverpool. And even then, is that better than that shot by Ziyech with how good it was? Tough to say. As for Jorginho, obviously we're probably mostly going to be talking penalties because he only scored 2 non-penalties. Although one of those was away at Arsenal. But I think we drew that game in the end 2-2, didn't we? That game the way he scored away at Arsenal.
No, we won that game 2-1.
Oh, was that the 2-1 where Tammy scored the winner?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So maybe that one. But
that
in
was
terms
the game
of
when
penalties,
Jorginho should have been sent off.
Ones. My favourite is probably the shush celebration after his penalty in the Super Cup. I did like that one. I did also like...
blimey. Some big news regarding Ziyech.
Go on.
L'Equipe reporting unbelievable. Ziyech deal is about to collapse. Documents weren't sent in time by Chelsea, looking likely to stay.
Who? What?
Ziyech is about to stay. Deal is going to collapse because Chelsea didn't send the documents in time, apparently.
Fabrizio tweeted 8 minutes ago, documents signed.
Well, I don't know. That's coming from L'Equipe. I was just saying it. It's gone quite viral. So I don't know, maybe.
Okay, well, that's funny. Well, Hakim Ziyech, another 6 months on the bench at Chelsea. Sorry, Hakim. I actually like the dude. I just wish he had a right foot, But... you can't have everything in life. But yeah, Jorginho, favorite moments, boys. Is there anyone that stands out? I remember when we lost away at Arsenal, but we scored the late goal there, and Jorginho, did he miss? No, he scored that penalty, and the celebration he was right into it. But I think I'm going to pick the Super Cup one. I can't really think of another.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The assist to Tammy Abraham against Watford.
Oh yeah, now you know what? I agree. That's it. Because he sold me a bit of a pipe dream then. Because when he did that, I thought we're going to basically have Enzo Fernandez, but we didn't. He only did that once.
That's right. Enzo Fernandez. So what are we worrying about?
No, it's true. But, the last 3 years, that would have been nice. Because when Tammy scored that goal, I mean, that as much as people say on the Lampard, but that initial phase on the Lampard, that first season, even especially the first half of the second season with the new signings, top of the league, 4-0 away at Sevilla, we were all having a good time. And I don't care what anyone says. We were all loving it because no one was in that moment. We were top of the league. No one was doubting the manager, not a soul. No one was doubting any signings. Everyone was just gassed about everything. That was good times, to be fair. Doesn't that Tammy goal fall into that period?
Another Jorginho one would be his first penalty, though, because that's the first time we actually saw the hop, skip, and jump.
Huddersfield. Yeah.
That was
Guys,
the
to be fair, big up to you. Remember when we had the quiz the other week and you got that Huddersfield one spot on? Shout out.
Yeah. I thought I was getting like tripping or something, but I got it right in the end.
Yeah, no, you was. To be fair, for me, it doesn't quite apply as much as to Aaron because I had seen quite a bit of Jorginho at Napoli. So I'd actually seen the hop and skip a few times before he did it for us. But I hear what you're saying. But yeah, I probably picked the assist to Tammy because that was outrageous. And the whole world thought Jorginho was the best midfielder in the world for a few hours or days or weeks, whatever. And then they did again in 2020 after the Euros final. That was fun. But Pys, any other favorite moments or which one are you going to agree with?
I mean, the Super Cup goal was big, I can't lie, because Villarreal were absolute arseache to try and break down, and that was a big goal. But my favourite goal was the Spurs one. It was funny, I actually got into that game really late. I literally ran inside the stadium, and like 2 minutes later, he scored that. So I'm glad I witnessed that live. It was such a nice goal. I was so shocked. Like it was almost like in slow motion when he hit it. It just drifted and then just bent in the top corner. It was beautiful. I still remember it vividly.
Yeah, no, fair. Matt Lord just tweeted, Everton banked £40 million for Gordon's sale and failed to sign anyone before deadline. Unbelievable. That is true. If you're fighting relegation and you let a player go and then you're not even signing anyone with that money to help yourself stay up, that is quite ridiculous. Unlucky Everton. Unfortunately, even Gallagher doesn't want you. If you wouldn't have sacked Lampard, I reckon Gallagher might have said yes. But, is what it is, boys. Is what it is. Now I want to discuss something else. Because I want to bring back a little bit of negativity. Sorry, boys. We have to bring it down back to earth instantly. I still hate the fact that Jorginho's gone. I still hate the fact that, in my opinion, our midfield is actually less balanced now than it was before Jorginho left and before we signed Enzo. I know that's a crazy thing to say with how good Enzo is, and I'm not trying to say Enzo isn't as good. He is as good. But I don't see him as a six that's going to help us, that's going to fix any issues that Jorginho had. He's just not going to be, because he's not going to be as used to that and suited to it, at sitting and controlling and shifting around and just passing a simple passing short. That's not going to be him. I don't want him to be that either. I don't want him to be the deepest and pass it short and nice most of the time and then spray one long, 10 or 5 to 10 long balls in a game. That's not what I want. I want him to be more involved. I want him to be, on occasions, get involved in the final third, be there to play the decisive, through balls, to be there and link things up and not just sit deep like Jorginho used to do. Now, obviously, tactics could slightly change. Maybe we have no one doing that. I guess when you think back to a game, what was it, Forest away or whatever, when we in the end drew 1-0, the whole midfield was so high, even Jorginho was 20 yards away from that goal. So I guess if you do that, you kind of can do it, but I just don't understand. And I'm aware that the season is kind of a write-off anyway, but I mean, the owners apparently think Enzo can help us get top 4. So if that is the case, I would love to know what the plan is, because Kante is no 6. Kante is no 6. So that doesn't really help. Oh, Fab just tweeted, big issue for Hakim Ziyech still. Well, let me just get it up. Sorry, I doubtedly keep. I don't know. I feel like there's, over the years, there have been quite a few times when L'Equipe wasn't as perfect, but maybe they've fixed themselves, because I feel like recently they've been very good. But yeah, Fabrizio said, big issue for Hakim Ziyech deal. PSG and Chelsea signed the contract, but were not sent back to be registered in time. Contracts are not validated as of now. Clubs trying to find a solution now. So I don't know if they can find a solution. To me, this is always obviously a deadline is a deadline, but if the contracts were signed, they just weren't sent on time, and there is proof that they were signed on time, surely it shouldn't matter. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
But that's like a school kid doing his homework.
De Gea failed on that basis when he was supposed to go to Real Madrid a few years ago. So
yeah, but that logic is like a school kid doing his homework when he's got it, and then not handing it in when it's due. If you don't hand it in when it's due, then it doesn't count.
But if you have proof that it was done before, I reckon your teacher will let you off, though.
A teacher would tell me to shut up and give me detention.
No. Yeah, because as a kid, you're not going to have actual proof, will you? But if you did, I think they will let you off.
I'll come with all the receipts.
Yeah, but back when we was in school, there was no time to have receipts. I mean, you're a bit younger than me, but still. Yeah. I mean, Reece James Kingdom says, sorry, maybe we should quickly, before we get back into that 6 debate. Yeah, I mean, thoughts, Pice? If it actually failed, what are you going to do? Unlucky for him, I guess. But what can you do? We were kind of busy, so like I let
myself the Enzo deal now. Fucking hell, I hope everything's going to be all right.
Yeah, but surely we didn't mess up both. So if anything, it makes him more confident than Enzo.
Yeah, I know Duncan Castles is trying to be a bit.
Yeah, but it's Duncan Castle. He also told us 2 days ago we weren't signing him. So look at you now, mate.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, fair. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. Aaron, thoughts?
Yeah, it's not good though, is it? Like if Ziyech has to say, he's going to be pissed. So
Well, you know,
it's not good to have that type of player in our squad.
it's only 3.5 more months. I'm sure he will live.
Hope
And
so,
hey,
bro.
I'm expecting Madueke to get injured, so Ziyech will probably start the next 3 games. Chances are, if Ziyech stays, he starts against Fulham. I mean, on the back of his last 2 performances, he probably deserves it, you know, unless they throw Madueke straight in, because I don't think Sterling will be fit to start against Fulham yet. So, but yeah, this is true. This is why we had hired 5,000 technical directors, and also by the end, it was only the board, the owners involved in the negotiation anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess it all depends on when PSG's offer came in, and obviously he only pushed for PSG. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not really gonna. PSG are absolutely fuming. Well, unlucky PSG. We were fuming when you threw coins at the disabled Chelsea fans, and you didn't do nothing
Fuck
about it. So,
PSG. I hate PSG. Fuck
Sorry?
PSG. Fuck PSG. I hate PSG.
Yeah, no, exactly that. But hey, back to our conversation that we were on before this happened, or this came out. Reece James Kingdom says Zakaria can't play as a 6. He can, but other than like he hasn't since his Borussia Mönchengladbach days played the deeper 6 of a pivot. So I'm sure he can, but we've seen him play. His strengths are his running. His strengths are his a little bit like Ruben, just different in terms of when he runs with the ball. It's so difficult to take the ball off him. Plus, obviously, that doesn't like it's nothing to do with in terms of how good he is at winning the ball back. But I'm getting a bit of feedback. I'm not sure which one of you it is. Let's see now. Oh, it might have been Aaron. Just unmute yourself when you talk again. No worries, mate. But yeah, so I'm not sure. Maybe he can. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, to me, it would have been better if Jorginho had stayed. And then in the summer, hope that he would go to Italy and pick them over Arsenal. Because now, yeah, we just spoke about it, Gonzalo. We just spoke about it. Because now, obviously, the Italian clubs aren't going to make an offer for a permanent move when he has 6 months left in his contract. That's never going to happen from Italian clubs. They don't have that money at the moment. So obviously, and he wasn't going to say no to potentially winning the Premier League. But if he moves in the summer, Arsenal are probably not going to win the Premier League again next year. So then there's less incentive to join from that perspective. And he will have his, I can go home to Italy. Much more of a valid option. Again, I don't want to make it too much of a downer, but I'm disappointed by it. I don't understand why it had to happen. It also annoys me a little bit right now. Annoys me a little bit that it basically just happened because Gallagher said no to Everton. And even though I totally understand why Gallagher said no to Everton, still annoys me that seemingly we were like, okay, if Gallagher doesn't go, we're going to sell Jorginho. That annoys me, if that makes sense. I mean, Aaron, obviously I spoke to Pice about that whole thing earlier. I don't think you're quite as annoyed as maybe me and Pice are about this, but to me, it just doesn't seem like a smart move. Again, Jorginho doesn't have to start every game, but now Enzo does. You're right? And if you had both, you could sometimes play him just as the next to Jorginho, sometimes instead of Jorginho, sometimes you play Jorginho Kovacic when Enzo needs a rest, even though we won't need as much rest, for the rest of the season because we won't have as many midweek games anymore now because we're not in any cup competitions outside of the Champions League. But still, I just think surely that like 10 million, what is 10 million going to do to us? We just bought, like, the financial fair play isn't going to, the financial fair play thing doesn't run for a year. Financial fair play is calculated over, 3 or 4, even 5 years? That's when the revenue, that's when your outgoings can't be bigger than a certain percentage over your revenue. It's not going to be depending on 10 million pounds. And if it is, then we just shouldn't have signed David Datro for Fofana. We're not going to last second we need to get rid of Jorginho for 10 million to Arsenal to figure out FFP. That is horse crap. Whoever's told you that is a lie. We did not have to sell Jorginho to figure out our books. I don't believe it for a second. I mean, hey, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe it for a second. So, and if that is not the case, Yeah, but we had to offload people from the first team. That's true, but not in that position because he's literally the only one there. So, like, you know, one of Gallagher, Ruben, they could have all left because we have 17 eights at the club. You know, Hakim Ziyech, he hopefully will still somehow we find a way. But he was one that could go because we have two out-and-out right wingers, Hakim Sterling, that's going to play on the right wing. Yeah, those guys can go, absolutely. But not the only 6 we have, is my thoughts anyway. Aaron, what do you think about that?
Firstly, I just want to correct you on something that you said. You said if it was a difference of 10 million, then we shouldn't have signed Fofana. But in reality, if it was a difference of 10 million, we just shouldn't have signed Aubameyang, not Fofana. So just trying to put a little bit of respect.
Well, you know, at least I'm doing it in the same window.
I'm just trying to put a bit of respect back on Fofana's name, even though I don't know what the fuck he's doing here because he had 2 interesting loan moves and none of them.
Minutes that we played in, which was so pointless.
That might be the only 45 minutes he gets in is the fucking death row 8-year contract at this point. But yeah, sorry, I sidetracked. I forgot what I was going to say. What was the question again?
Jorginho, what do you think about the whole thing?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just as upset as the both of you because Jorginho holds a special place in my heart. I don't know what it is about him. I think it's because he reminds me of myself on a football pitch because I'm slow as shit. I'll probably get outdone by a referee. I'm slow as shit, and you could push me off the ball very easily, which is why I'm in the gym now. But there's something about him, even though beside the fact that he's the only 6 we have at the club, which is firstly very stupid to get rid of him because like what the fuck, why would you not get rid of an 8 rather than the only 6 that you have? It makes no sense. But it's just you have that emotional sentiment towards him as well. He's won the Champions League, he's won the Europa League, Club World Cup, Super Cup. Like he's been there through a lot of times, and the way he's been disrespected by a large section of the fan base who just don't understand him as a footballer. I think with Jorginho, you have to understand football in a very like technical manner and really deep dive into it in order to appreciate how talented Jorginho is. And a lot of people who don't really seem to grasp that concept don't get how good he is. Of course, he has his limitations, but every player has their limitations. His qualities are on his day, they are up there. But it is really annoying because at the end of the day, we've now got no out-and-out 6. Enzo can play 6, but if we're talking about natural 6s, we have none. Now we're thinking, we can play Enzo there. We can play Zakaria there. Even Kante, I fuck knows with Kante, but he's on the treatment table. But when he's fit, he may or may not be able to play, fuck knows. But it just doesn't make sense. That surely it means now in the summer they're going to have to go in and really focus in on that position and try and bring someone in for it because we can't have Enzo play in that position next season. Enzo needs that player next to him who's going to sit so he has that license to move with the ball a little bit and actually travel and be able to play those passes that he plays and just play his game. So getting rid of Jorginho for the sake of 10 million was really stupid. I don't know why they did it, but with the way our window went, I'm not going to shit on a parade of just getting Enzo and having to reminisce on Jorginho. I think I just want to focus on the positives now and the fact that the window was still a 10 out of 10, no matter what happened with Jorginho. But I do find it a bit stupid that they got rid of him, but it's done now, so can't really do too much about it.
No, exactly. I'm just going to bring up... Yeah, go on.
I'm just going to say, Fabrice Hawkins, who revealed the Gusto deal, he said that Chelsea sent the wrong documents to PSG several times and PSG are going to launch an appeal. There's another source in France saying that PSG are launching an appeal as well against the attitude of the English club and are furious with Chelsea. Fucking hell. Oh, my days.
And now we look like idiots again. Now we look like having amateurs in charge again. I mean... what I want to know is who was left at Chelsea to sort Hakim Ziyech and also Hutchinson's loan and those kind of things. But yeah, they can see it now. Exclusive Hakim Ziyech deal is off. Poor guy, man. He's stranded in PSG club offices. Oh my God. Low confidence of any appeal or solution. Chelsea didn't submit the paperwork on time.
The worst thing about it is he's only just missed Paris Fashion Week. He could have stayed for that as well.
Yeah, like Serge Gnabry. Have people in England been heard about what's been happening at Bayern over that Serge Gnabry?
Yeah, it was. He got banished from the first
Bayern,
team for going to Paris Fashion Week. That's so stupid.
It's not even far, man. Let the guy do what he wants on his day off, man. Imagine what other job tells you what you're doing your day off. Ridiculous stuff. Especially when they let Neuer go skiing and break his fucking leg, but the other player isn't allowed to go on Fashion Week. Do you know what I mean? Like, sort yourselves out. PSG fuming. Ziyech has done everything in his power to make the move happen. Told he even offered to help financially, but right now he can't be registered and is stuck in Paris. Well, I'm sure he's not stuck in Paris. I'm sure he can afford a hotel, mate. PSG have an appeal route to LFP. But whatever LFP may be, but they are not optimistic on their chances. My God, that is not good. That is not good. I'm also not a fan. I kind of want to stream until we get final confirmation. Another twist, Ziyech may say, whether we get confirmation of the deal sheet being done for Enzo and stuff. That's what I'd like to know.
Laurenz, LFP is Ligue de Football Professionnel, so it's like the French FA, basically.
Okay. There you go. I mean, yeah, according to Duncan Castle, there is concern over Enzo not being done in time. It's true that he did say that. Well, Pies told us a minute ago, but then, you saw what Matt Law said. Surely not. Like, if that happens, I will go back to rating the board to be like, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. Like, can we not act like amateurs? We are not Ryan Reynolds and Wrexham. Can we please act proper? Way more than people say, Potter doesn't act like a Chelsea manager. Failing these two deals, if both fail, I'm done for. Ziyech, I'm a little bit less bothered about. I feel bad for him, but it doesn't affect us as much. But hey, it is what it is. What else was I going to bring up? Oh, yeah. Let me just bring that up. It's actually a tweet from Pies as we were talking about Jorginho. Through Simon Phillips, Jorginho, upon leaving the club, expressed a desire to return to Chelsea in a role after his playing career is over. Chelsea and Jorginho left on great terms. It just hurts even more when I see that. Like, yeah, Petr Cech 2.0, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't... Well, I still don't understand why we decided to keep Kante over him. Also, from a financial perspective, Kante is never fit and earns twice as much. Oh, maybe he's going to take a wage cut, but he's still not going to take a wage cut to as low as Jorginho is on. I guarantee that. So I don't get it. And I also think as much as we don't have Kante-like players, so many, because they are rare, like an Enzo-type player is rare, we still have more similar ones than, in my opinion, we have similar to Jorginho. My thoughts. Pies, when you saw that, did that make it easier for you? It's like, oh, yeah, it's just another club legend. Like, well, not club legend in that way, but like Cech, who basically, as soon as he left us for Arsenal, was like, yeah, I'm coming back later. So how does that make you feel when you heard that one?
I mean, the fact that he said he was surprised as well. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm genuinely speechless. I don't know what to think about this Jorginho thing. Like, he just looks horrible in an Arsenal shirt. It looks disgusting. It looks wrong. Yeah, it's going to take some time to get used to. Honestly, it feels like a player that's been here for 10 years has just gone and signed for Arsenal. It honestly feels like that. Like, when I first saw him wearing that Arsenal shirt, it just looked like a career mode AI made.
Especially when you think back to when he first joined us and his mum went into the mega store and was like crying her eyes out at seeing his shirt there and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, people sometimes, do we consider Jorginho Chelsea legend? No. We can't overuse the word.
Such a story here, man. And just
by that logic, in about 50 years, we will have 200 legends. We can't have that.
He's not a hero. He's not a legend.
Yeah, no, I agree. Imagine we get drawn against PSG. Don't have to worry about it too much. They get knocked out by Bayern anyway. Now that Bayern have João Cancelo. But yeah, I don't know, Aaron. But do you think when you read that, like, does it make it, I don't know, a bit more wholesome? And it's like, yeah, we'll be back. Not, or is it arguably making it more painful?
It plays on my heartstrings a little bit, but he's still a piece of shit for going to Arsenal. But I can't really. He's a piece of shit, but I can't blame him. We've had two pieces of shit go to two other London rival teams in the same window. Fucking Simpson Bell as well.
No, that's true. But you see, at least Jorginho went there when they're about to win something. Luis, Cech, William, they went there when Arsenal were 7th.
Yeah, like Jorginho's probably trying to complete the trophy cabinet and get that Premier League as well. So I can't blame him.
I swear at some point after he's done playing, Jorginho would just create a Twitter account and just mug everyone off that's ever criticised him. Just reply with all his medals or something, like John Terry when he posts his, pictures of his trophy collection.
Jorginho's going to reply with the cry more gifts.
Yeah, exactly. Let me bring up that next tweet by Pies by Cesar Merlo. says Louise Merlo, but I'm not sure if the dude wants to flip and go by his middle name or not. Enzo details: Chelsea will pay in 6 installments. The first will be around £40 million. So my other question is still, what was the holdup? Unless Benfica tried to make us miss the deadline, but like, what didn't we off? Like, the first will be 40 million. What?
Maybe we pay in 6 installments, but it's like 2 years. So technically, we still lose the money quite quickly.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I assume it's not going to be, and we're probably going to split it up, one now, then one just after the financial year starts in the summer, in June or whenever. We're going to have figured it out. But again, for financial fair play, it doesn't actually matter in that sense. It's just because it's not a release clause, we now spread it out over the contract length, regardless of the installments, if that makes sense. So again, Benfica only want a release clause up front. Well, now they accepted 40 million up front. Well, look at you now, journalists. Look at you now. I said all along, there would have never been negotiations if they were so adamant on that stance. So, hey, Chelsea used factoring. Yeah, that is true. But, well, that is said. No one serious has reported that yet, as far as I'm aware. If the first installment is 40 million, it doesn't look like we used factoring on that sense, unless we're paying the 6 installments to the company that helped us with the factory. No, invoice factoring. So I have no idea. But what else is there to talk about? I guess what I quickly do want to touch, and I would still like to sit here and wait until we have confirmation, not necessarily by the club, but from someone for the Enzo thing. But what I do quickly want to discuss, this Spice guy's so good with news, bro. Yeah, he's great, isn't he? Amazing. Figure was out, Perry.
PYS.
Yeah, that was good. But you know what? Let's bring that up quickly. You'd retweeted it, right? Or
What's that?
Was it just in replies, the clip?
Yeah, I replied the video, yeah. I'll let him off for the pronunciation, but maybe I should have my actual name. I should maybe have Max now, but yeah. Oh, well.
You just have too many things. Look how much I'm scrolling just to flip and find it.
Bro,
Pice has been just as
active. This is way too long ago. Where is it? Why is it not showing up?
Fucking hell, mate. I've been posting all day. Like, it's crazy. It's only a few hours down. It's only 3 hours.
I was back at 5 hours. It wasn't that long ago, was it?
No, 3 hours ago. I'll send it to you on DM. Be easier.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably simpler. Where is it? Why wouldn't it show up?
Have we actually realised how awkward it's going to be when Ziyech comes back from Paris and has to put on a again?
Bro, he's going to be fucking fuming.
He might just punch Potter in the face. I'm not even joking.
Why Potter?
Potter?
I don't think anyone's going to punch Potter in the face. You know, he's studied, what is it, personal relations or whatever it is.
Personal relations study, and ain't going to stop you from getting a bang in the face.
I will, because you will tell him, no, you don't want to hit me. That's not what you want to do.
He's not going to hypnotize him.
No, he might do. You never know, he might do. But yeah, I'm not. You tell me if you can hear the sound, otherwise I'll make it louder.
Sorry to interrupt. Our friend Peace, that is a page on Twitter that follows Chelsea News. I am always checking his page. He's saying Fabrizio's co-host, that is you, Aviv, is asking for something different as the whole chat is spamming Enzo's name constantly. So you're
CFCPys.
But the funniest thing about it is that he called you piss.
Yeah.
You might as well change
I told you,
obviously
I'm not going to say it anyway, but you know, your real name, he would have definitely said correct.
I would have said you could change your Twitter handle to that, but there's already a CFCPys.
Yeah, everyone was replying like the account CFCPys saying this in this video is going to be gassed, but I'm not.
I'm pretty sure he mentioned Mod as well while he was on stream.
Yeah, he did. Fab's a legend, man. He's so nice, honestly. The amount of followers he has, he's such a nice guy.
He is. I mean, I've conversed with him like you have, but he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's not my boy. He's Pice's boy, not mine.
What a question. What are we going to say about that one then?
Behave yourself. Behave. Don't even make this a question. Don't do it.
I still don't even know in what way you are having a go at me now. I still don't know who you're so sure.
Matic is so clear. It's not even a joke.
But for how long? A season?
Oh, behave, Laurenz. Behave. It's 11:40 at night. Behave. I don't need this
now. Matic is basically like Michu. One season wonder.
Yo, where is the leave button?
Was more crucial for us, even though Jorginho obviously had more time. But Jorginho wasn't consistently that good, and Matic for that one season was unbelievable. Then again, did Matic come third in the Ballon d'Or, win UEFA Player of the Year? Don't think so. Also,
Serbia didn't exactly win the Euros, and he didn't win the Champions League. So, how could he have come third in the Ballon d'Or?
Well, yeah, he should have played better, shouldn't he?
Oh yeah, he should have carried the nation of Serbia on his back.
Yeah.
With,
to be fair,
with
he did
else?
have 2 great seasons. That is true. He did. Well, obviously, we won 2 leagues actually with Matic in the team. I forget the Mourinho season that he was there as well. No, I'm joking around. I agree. It's Matic. Pys, do you agree even?
Yeah, man, I loved Matic. He was just
He was spider legs personified.
Yeah,
genuinely.
Bring him back, throw it back, remontada.
That's true. But Jorginho would beat Matic in a fight, would just run beneath his legs. Do you know what I mean? Or Matic just has, started doing MMA and like gonna bloody fly kick him or whatever.
PSG very angry with Chelsea, who sent wrong documents 3 times. Difficult to imagine appeal going to be accepted, but
who
PSG
said that?
will try. Guy from Lucky, can't pronounce his name. Yeah,
someone needs to give Al Khalifi a call and tell him to cry
I
more.
would love to know how that happens, because did they not tell us it was the wrong document? So did we send the same wrong document 3 times, or did we send 3 different wrong documents? That's what I'd love to know.
We sent them Enzo documents, bro.
Yeah, or the
logistics behind that.
Even though Nathan said we didn't want an option, maybe they didn't want an option. We're like, you don't want an option, well then you're not getting the fucking documents.
I could just think about sending 3 separate wrong documents.
Wait, CFC Daily. CFC Daily said everyone was in Portugal today. They probably left the megastore worker in charge.
That's what it feels like. It's what it feels like. It's like, someone sent their little brother, like, send what? And he just writes down, Ziyech can go to PSG. Send, it's the wrong one. Okay. Ziyech can go to PSG now.
No, it's like when you're a little kid and your dad gives you something to do that normally he does, but he wants to try and make you into a man. So he gives you a task to do, and you completely fuck it up so badly that he has to come back and do it himself. That's what that reminds me.
I mean, we needed a bit of a remontada of the Chelsea-PSG rivalry anyway. We played each other, 3 years in a row in the Champions League, and then we haven't seen them since. So, we need a bit of a remontada of that.
Mate,
rivalry anyway.
with that front line, I don't think I want to see them anytime soon.
Man, Thiago Silva should just tell them to pipe the fuck down.
Thiago Silva should just flex his Champions League medal and say, "Where's yours?"
Calm, PSG. Calm down, lads.
Yeah,
no, but I can actually, fair enough. They.
Yeah, I would be fuming. If that's the case, we genuinely sent the wrong document 3 times. That's ridiculous.
Oh, imagine Benfica did that to us. Oh my lord.
Well, that's why we went there, so we didn't have to be sent anything.
Well, maybe PSG should have flown into Portugal and got the documents in person.
I mean, Greta Thunberg, she will be happy because they didn't fly around for no reason. But one last debate, and I'm going to hope that in this period, Benfica's manager is fuming, by the way. I bloody hope so, the flipping twat. Okay, wait. Fabrizio tweet on Hakim Ziyech. Let me just bring it up.
He said the deal was off. Oh my god.
No, deal currently off, he said.
Currently off. Fuck it now, man. Someone give us an Enzo update. I haven't heard anything in 50 minutes.
Exactly. But yeah, more on Hakim Ziyech. PSG have an appeal ready to LFP, like Aaron informed us, basically the French FA. But contracts are not validated as things stand after Chelsea and PSG exchanged docs. What I still find interesting, he is not going into this, we sent the wrong thing deal at all. So that's interesting so far. But last debate I would like to have, and still hoping that we're going to get a confirmation of things having been sent in time for Enzo and stuff, does the situation change now at Chelsea? Because obviously the last few weeks, obviously before Christmas or before the World Cup, people were angry at Potter by the end, and understandably so at times, but obviously with a lot of injuries, blah, 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 and now we were like, oh, look at our team, all these injuries, all our shit players. Now things are obviously a bit different, Reece James is now back. He's expected to start on Friday. Raheem Sterling is soon to be back. We signed Madueke. We signed Mudryk. João Felix, of course, can't play against Fulham and can't play the game. Or is the game after his next game? After Fulham.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the game after Fulham is his first game back. So from there on, we'll have him. We'll have Enzo. Obviously, we have Badiashile. Even Chilwell is very much nearing a return. I'm not sure quite how close he is. So does the pressure now change in that sense? Or is the season so much of a write-off that it doesn't really matter. Because one thing that I think people are completely ignoring is that with how much, as drastic of a squad change as we've just gone through, okay, Ziyech might now be staying, but Jorginho has gone, and maybe Ziyech has gone in terms of the players that were supposedly supposed to be in the team. But we've also added 7 new players. Now, you can take Fofana out of it, I guess. Andrey Santos for now, even though the reports are saying we will want to use him in the remainder of the season. So let's just go with 5. We still have 5 new players, and one of our most, if you don't want to use the word important because you don't think he's that good, fair enough, but still one of the players that played the most minutes in Jorginho out of the team. That's 6 players changed, and the large majority of those are going to be starters. Plus, then you add players that came back from injury and haven't played in God knows how long. Basically, I mean, how many games did Reece James even play under Potter? 5? Do you know what I mean in total? Maybe a bit more than that, but not that much. So what I think people need to consider a little bit, usually these crazy transfers and stuff, crazy transfer windows where you sign so many players happen all in one window. Happen in the summer, and then you have pre-season to get together. And even then, you're like, oh yeah, the managers always go, I joined late, need to catch up on fitness, need to get to know everything. Now this happened in the middle of January. Yes, we just had some time off, but now after deadline day, after 2 of the signings basically happened, well, a couple of days ago, and now Augusto isn't even joining, so I guess it's just this one. But still, it's not just going to click from day to the other. Okay, what is the news that's come out? Ornstein said something?
No, so I was just reading, John Percy from The Telegraph said that Hutchinson to West Brom is now off as well. So
What?
I don't know if... Yeah, Hutchinson to West Brom is now off.
this is great.
So I wonder if Chelsea have had a bit of a mare after finding out they've agreed Enzo. Fuck's sake.
Well, either that, you say it that way, or we genuinely, this is just what happens when you have people in charge that don't know anything about football. But at the same time, I mean, we hired God knows how many people that should. Did Vivel never see a deal sheet at Leipzig? Joe Shields, Win Stanley, have they never seen a deal sheet? But anyway, let's bring up the main news, which is not a full confirmation still in a weird way. But hey, here we are. Chelsea got the Enzo Fernandez deal sheet in. Yes. Tick 1. All right. Plus, asked for an extension to complete the paperwork on this 120 million euro transfer from Benfica. It's an international transaction, so that gave them another hour to finish details. 15 minutes to go. Okay,
God, man.
Okay, so shall we wait another?
Yeah.
So we should sit here for another 15 minutes just to.
Yeah, might as well.
We hear Omari Hutchinson deal has also not gone through. That is, to me, mental. Wish not to be named to protect their relationship with the club. Describe the situation as a classe à circus. Ziyech currently stuck in Paris. Stop saying he's stuck in Paris, man. He's not stuck anyway. You're saying like he's in fucking prison, man. Stop saying
to be fair, he didn't really say it like that, but I put it like that anyway.
No, okay. All right. We're literally scamming everyone, but mostly we're scamming our players. Ziyech, Hutchinson, they'll be fuming. That means 2 right wingers that were supposedly gone have not gone.
Oh my good lord, man.
West Brom went for Albrighton over Hutchinson. Are you sure?
What the fuck?
Maybe it was their thing. So what else do we need to do? Well, still get all the remaining paperwork done in 15 minutes time, now 12 minutes time. So we will be here for the next 12 minutes, and hopefully we get soon pretty much on that note, or at least very, very soon. That's what I would hope, because it's nearly 1 a.m. for me, and I would like to go to sleep at some point. But yeah.
Fabs just said Enzo contracts are signed, so I'm guessing it's done.
He said that for Ziyech, that the contracts were signed.
Yeah, I don't know. God's sake, just say whether it's done.
Yeah.
But
hey, this is, remember a few years ago, what was it? January 2017, I want to say, when we signed Drinkwater and Zappacosta on deadline day. Remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. We were also waiting for whether deal sheets had gone through then. I remember it vividly. And then we had like the picture of Emenalo with Drinkwater and Zappacosta in the. He said we can celebrate. Who said that? Enzo, Fabrizio?
Oh, please.
Oh, Lord, don't do this.
You lying to me? Who's lying? Who was this? Toby Mullen? I will block you if you've lied.
I'm not even on the stream, so I can't check. I need someone.
Yo, this ain't funny.
Wait, is he still streaming? Has he not gone? Is he?
No, brother's still streaming, man.
Yo, let me go on YouTube and find out. Hold on,
Yeah. You mute yourself and you find out. Go back a minute and see what he said. That's great.
I'm on it.
I've said he's 100% a Chelsea player. Oh, he said it again. Okay, let me bring that one up. Did he actually say that?
Oh, for
Because
Christ.
I don't really give a shit about Ziyech or Hutchinson if that is the case. He didn't tweet it, so I don't know what you're going on about. Fab said we can celebrate on his YouTube. Big up yourself, Toby Marlin. You're not getting banned. You even donated. I love you.
I've got the bit of the clip if you want to. Shall I play it?
If you can. Oh,
Yes.
do you mean just the audio?
Yes,
Yeah,
he just tweeted Enzo Fernandez, new Chelsea player.
Benfica really wanted the 120 and not anything less because of the big
It's coming up.
big percentage to pay to River Plate. All right. Yeah, that's something in life. I think it's a life lesson. One day you're worth 10 million, the other day you're worth 120 million.
It's done, bro. Fab tweeted. He's tweeted, bro.
Has he tweeted it?
He's tweeted,
Yeah.
bro.
Tweeted. Let me just get it up now. Appreciate that, though, Aaron. That was quick still. Enzo Fernandez, new Chelsea player. All documents are signed between the clubs with Benfica and player side on contract, valid until June 2031. Medical tests done. Payment in 6 installments, but 40 million pounds up front, like 45 million euros up front. Boehly and Eghbali, even though you misspelled his name, board did it all. Boehly and Eghbali board did it after mad 24 hours. Here we go. Thank you. Number one, we don't have to sit here for another 10 minutes now. I'm just going to take Fabrizio's word for it and not wait for whatever is still necessary. Omari Hutchinson to West Brom is off and it's not happening by Jay Percy from the Telegraph. Wow. Still crazy. But hey, Tony Marlin, shout out for the super chat. Appreciate it very, very much. But yeah, we're excited. But I want to take it back to this conversation super quickly to get your guys' thoughts on this. Is, in your opinion, the pressure on from starting right now that the results are there? Or do you guys see that when you make this much of a transition in one January window, it's not just going to click from day dot? I'll start with you, Pys.
I think we'll definitely, like, you can't expect, if the same like shit football's happening, and like with this team we've got now with these new players, you can't like go and win one game in 12 like that. That is not happening, by the way. Like, I don't even worry about that too much. Like, the talent we've got, I'm sure it will click relatively soon, and I think we're going to start seeing some good football. I hope there's going to be there has been more time on the training pitch, and I hope now that we can just start getting some results, and we've certainly got the talent to do so. And I'm excited, man. But in terms of pressure, I don't really think honestly, I don't think it matters what Chelsea fans say, to be honest, at all. Clearly Todd Boehly and Behdad Eghbali are going to be the ones deciding, and they've backed him to the hilt. So yeah, it's not going to end here either. Hopefully in the summer we'll get a couple more.
That's a good point. But do you think the pressure from the board will change at all in terms of, well, now we've given you all these players, now you've got to do something?
Well, yeah, to a certain extent, but it won't be like you've got to win the Premier League or you got to win the Champions League. They just want to see natural progression, and obviously they'll be demanding that. But I'm confident we'll see that. I really am, man. Like, we sat here after we drew to Liverpool 0-0. I know Liverpool are playing shit as well, but look at the team we had out against Liverpool. Like, it's and we played them off the park, to be honest. So I'm just excited to see our team, a game where we have all these signings in the team, and hopefully we'll cook teams up.
Yeah, hopefully. Aaron, what do you reckon? Is the pressure change now? Do you see there's a valid point that you can't expect us to be amazing from tomorrow onwards? Now, you would expect us to be better than we were when we had all our players injured and before we signed all of these players. But I guess it is still, you can't expect us to, all of us, to from one day to another, be as good as Man City and Arsenal now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know who Andy Tate is. I'm sure Pius will know, the Man United fan.
Yeah.
Second half of the season, we're going on a title charge. I'm telling you.
I love that.
We're going on a title charge right now. Or in all seriousness, I think I'm a fucking idiot sometimes. I think the pressure does obviously elevate onto Potter because he's got a whole load of new signings in, all fresh faces, all shiny toys to put out on the pitch now. So naturally, they're going to want to see a lot more progression and results improve from what they have been previously. But I think it's pressure that we knew was going to come, whether it's from our own board, whether it's from all these rival fans. It's when you spend that kind of money, naturally that pressure is going to come either way. But I think with the recruitment that we've done, the faces that we brought in, I think, especially with the players coming back from injury, I think there's no reason why we shouldn't be doing a lot better than we are in the first place. I think naturally that pressure is going to be there. But I think the players will know that they've underperformed heavily this first half of the season, so they'll naturally want to put that right, because we should not be sitting in 10th at the moment. And with the quality that we've brought in, there is serious pressure, I believe, on them to push on and push for those European spots. Whether that's Champions League, whether it's Europa League, whatever it may be, they're just going to be pushed on and have that pressure to try and finish as high as possible. You're going to be looking at a lot of these games now that in the first half of the season we were dropping points or didn't look convincing, and now it's going to be a case of you're going to need to look a lot more convincing in your performance and actually pick up these results that you need to get those points, even if it's like them sorts of games where it's a little bit more scrappy, just to pick up those scrappy wins if you have to, but get the points and go up the table and actually put in a good run for the Champions League as well, because we haven't got the other two domestic cups to worry about. So we've now got this Champions League campaign as well to really push on and see sort of how
only
far
with 3 of the players.
together. Well, yeah, we're 3 of the players, but still.
Imagine it. Okay, I don't believe this happened, but imagine we actually win the Champions League. Badiashile will be absolutely fuming.
I think Jorginho will be more angry than Badiashile.
But Jorginho's already won it. You know what I mean, so it'll be probably less fuming from that.
I mean, he's not going to say no to another one, is he?
No, obviously. What number is Enzo wearing?
5.
Could be, because I don't think we're going to let him have Zola's 25, if I'm honest. Even though I think if we can give the 26 away,
yeah.
I never understand why. I mean, I wasn't alive, or well, I was alive, but I didn't see Zola really be in his heyday at Chelsea. So I probably don't have that same attachment to him, even though I saw him play for, the Legends team, and I like the guy a lot, and I've seen videos and stuff, but I cannot understand why the 25 would be retired and the 26 wasn't. So, but I guess once you do it formally, then you can't really take it back out. But
I'm not being funny. At the end of the day, if John Terry's 26, Frank Lampard's 8, Didier Drogba's 11, all of those numbers.
But can anyone tell me who's got the 21?
Who the fuck's 21?
Chilwell.
Oh yeah,
Chilwell, yeah, spot on. To be fair.
Yeah, so I'm not being funny. If John
17.
Terry, Lampard, and Drogba's numbers can be given out to other people, then I get it's retired. But surely,
I mean, we would have had the 22 available from Ziyech, which he might have taken, but now we don't. So unlucky. I feel bad for him, man. I honestly feel bad for him. But yeah. I mean, someone in the chat, someone was already hilarious. It's like, pressure's on now for Potter. No more excuses for Potter. Again, do players not take time to play together? But hey, maybe he won't even need them. I hope he doesn't. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I still want to kind of cover the next 2 minutes just to hope that we get another kind of confirmation from maybe a Ornstein or something, even though I already take Fabrizio's word for it. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, there's still over 300 of you here. Nearly midnight in the UK, nearly 1 a.m. if you're in continental Europe, and God knows what other time zones you guys could be in. Although if you're in America, it's the afternoon, or the evening, so you're not getting as much credit. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Please do. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. The last few days have been mad, so please get subscribed. We're edging even the 16.5 or whatever. So get on that. Let's get to 17k as soon as we possibly can. Did any common guys leave on loans? Well, Hutchinson was supposed to, now hasn't. But what was his number? 63 or whatever he had. And Hall is when 67, is he not? But he's staying obviously. And who's the other guy that left? Bashir Humphreys. I'm not sure what number he was wearing for me.
Bashir Humphreys today. He made his debut. He started, and they were winning the game for 85 minutes, and then went on to lose 2-1 and conceded in the 95th minute.
Brilliant. It's always great when your centre back is the person that happens to. 1 p.m. in New Zealand. Okay, you also get less credit, Harry, but you also live in New Zealand, so you struggle most other days. So I'll let you. It will probably be 5. Then yeah, I feel like it could be 5. Is there no 20 number available? So none. Reece has the 24, Chile 21, Ziyech 24, 22, Gallagher is 23, 24, 5 is retired, 26 is Koulibaly, 27. He's got 27.
29 is Havertz, 20.
Is it like
28 is Aspie.
Fofana maybe?
No, he's got 3, doesn't he?
No,
Datro.
Maybe does he?
Oh, Datro Fofana. Yeah, true. He's got 27. Well, again, shouldn't have signed him. I'm just joking. But yeah, nothing in the 20s. That's why Madueke's got the 31 now. Is there one in the teens left?
We
19
could have had
18 Broya, 17 Sterling, 16.
We could have had 23
Do we have a
available.
16?
There's got to be, because I know those numbers that I've mentioned before are the only ones.
Yeah, you're right. You said there was nothing available until 31, but I can't think of...
Mendy 16.
Mendy 16, yeah, true. 15 is Mudryk now.
Yep.
Who's 14?
Let me check.
Chalobah?
Yeah.
Chalobah 14.
Yeah.
Yep.
And who's got 13?
13 is Bettinelli.
Yeah. Just give him a new number, man. If Enzo wants the 13, just give Bettinelli the 99 or 69 for the bandana. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, exactly. And it was his World Cup number at Argentina, so I back that one. Just give, because I don't want to do that to Jorginho, you know. And also the 5, I don't like it, as I've said. 12 is Ruben, and 11 is Felix. There you go. Could also just take the 10 of Pulisic really and give it to Enzo. Clutch straight at my throat. I'm kind of just sat there trying to kind of cover time to see anything of Enzo, but I mean, they're all talking about how the Ziyech thing is in doubt, and no one has said a bad word about Enzo, well, except Duncan Castles, but he doesn't count, does he? So, yeah. Pys, do you think it's safe enough that we can wrap up, or?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw that Fab tweet, it's calm, all done.
Yeah, it's true.
But then the Fab tweet about Ziyech said it was done, and now look.
Yeah, no, but you said as well, bro. He said on YouTube that we can celebrate, so it's cool.
Right, but we were celebrating when we saw Ziyech tweets, and then out of nowhere we weren't celebrating, so I'm still a bit scared.
Did he actually say that? But when? Because I know they played in the evening, but after that time still? But Roger Schmidt literally confirmed that Enzo
Someone needs to find this clip of this just to verify it.
What of Roger Schmidt? Yeah, but I wouldn't go by that, because that was definitely before the final deadline that press conference took place, wasn't it? So, but yeah, I mean, hey, how many loopholes has Todd Boehly found so far? Maybe he'll find one for Hakim Ziyech as well. You never know. He'll figure something out. Maybe maybe he'll do Barcelona and we'll just pull some sort of lever. You never know. But yeah, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we have to wait and see what happens with Hakim Ziyech. I think I'm going to be confident enough to say that here we go for Enzo Fernandez. 2 Chelsea stands. Chelsea have signed one of the very best midfielders in the world, even though he's only played half a season in Europe. But he's one young player of the tournament of the World Cup. So, that's something. And won the World Cup. For £105 million or 120 million euros, as you can see on screen, paid in 6 installments, 40 million pounds of which up front. Again, I don't understand, why did it take so long if they accepted 40 million up front? I mean, Rob was telling us about 80 up front. Didn't even need that one. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I don't agree with you hating him, but he's going to be an elite manager. Maybe Jorginho was going to be our manager one day. Can't wait already. He's going to get booed again, and I love it. Big up yourself, Jorginho. Big up yourself, Jorginho. No good luck at Arsenal. I'm not going to wish anyone good luck at direct rivals, but farewell and good luck when you leave Arsenal, which is hopefully ASAP. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, big thank you for everyone that has tuned in today. It's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy transfer window, quite frankly. And thankfully it has, because our performances, our results, and then also the lack of games for the last nearly 2 weeks have been absolutely just awful. Really. So at least the transfer window helped us get through that, which I'm very glad about. So yeah, again, always the big shout out. Please do check out Pys's website, ChelseaFC365.com, for all your latest Chelsea news. If there is anything else new or whatever else on Hakim Ziyech, I'm sure you will find something there, or just check out his Twitter. Pys's Twitter is always very, very quick. The guy is basically like Fabrizio Romano and doesn't sleep. Well, I know that he does sleep, but he just sleeps when
man. I'm so tired. Tired.
Exactly. That's why we need to wrap this up. Big shout out to Aaron as well. Thank you for coming on. And again, one more time, guys, please do subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the like button on your way out as well. That'd be very much appreciated. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. Enzo is ours. It's Enzo clock. It's Enzo clock, which is funny because it's 1 o'clock. It even sounds like it. But yeah, it's Enzo clock. Even though I tweeted that now 2 days ago, it's finally true. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. We've got Enzo, and we'll see you next time.